Yo, what's up? If you like drum kits and preset packs, or if you just like what I do, consider pledging to the Patreon. You get access to all types of cool stuff, and you get videos early and ad-free. The Big Three is a phrase used to describe the three most popular mangas in Japan. Three major stories that have culturally impacted not just Japan, but the world as a whole. Mangas like Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece have memorable stories and characters that became major influences on the medium, shaping many of the future tropes that would define the shonen genre. Hold on, my manager's calling me. Hello? It's the wrong script. Oh, you meant the Big Three rappers. I'm gonna keep doing the anime comparisons, by the way. Let's begin with your frat bro's favorite rapper, Mr. Drizzy Drake. I've been working on this video since before the beef got started, and honestly, I had no idea the beef was gonna get this personal. But I gotta admit, it was very entertaining.
Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown.
What made you go with that verse?
Personally, I think Drake lost, but I did enjoy songs like Push Ups and Family Matters a bit, but honestly, I just think Drake was outclassed in the beef. I don't even think that's a hot take. That's like the cultural consensus. And if we're keeping the anime Big Three comparisons going, I do feel like Drake is the most like the manga Naruto. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. They both entered the scene with fresh new ideas that would become classics in their own right, while being stylistic inspiration for many new artists in the future. And even in recent times, they continue to create new art, often to some mixed reviews. And even if there are some great moments in the new material, some fans will be quick to remind you that their old stuff was better. To me, Drake is Naruto, believe it. And if I were to produce for him, I would want him to rap on a beat that he's comfortable with. And for the past few years, I've noticed he's been very comfortable rapping on these Memphis-style beats with very sharp hi-hats and repetitive piano keys.
Down the block. Type of nigga that can look me.
These type beats are kinda like Drake's Shadow Clone Rasengan combo. So for my track, I started off with the simple drum beat. It's just a kick, a snare, hi-hats, and some perks. Very Take Keith inspired. Next, I'm gonna layer the drums with a simple piano melody with two FL Keys presets. I did add some effects like Origin to give it a lo-fi effect, and an EQ and reverb. And I layered the piano with this cool little bell tone hit. Lastly, I made this simple 808 pattern that just carries the rest of the beat. All we have to do is arrange, and here's the beat. I'm gonna do a little rap to make it sound like a Drake song. Hold on.
Hey, that's just how it go. Hey, that's just how it go. Hey, talking on a boy, now we gonna wipe his nose. Hey, yeah, who we shooting first? Check the call sheet. Niggas thinking Ghost Riders, boy, it's all me. She be in her home alone like Macaulay, but if she ever feel alone, tell her call me. They tryna make a big deal out of small things. I'm on vacation in Ibiza, now they salty. I'm a art snob, not a art thief. Niggas BTS, now they think they got an army.
Next up, let's make a beat for Jermaine.
Jermaine.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
95 South on the off season. J.Cole.
Yes.
Continuing the anime comparisons, I feel that J.Cole is the most like Bleach. Kind of like the misunderstood outsider of the Big Three. Effortlessly stylish and unique while having plenty of hard-hitting moments. Even if they aren't as big or as popular as the other two in the Big Three, they have a dedicated core fan base, and the fans that like it, love it. I appreciate what they are and what they stand for in the Big Three. They exist in their own little world, doing their own thing. And I think that's beautiful. I remember when the Drake and Kendrick beef was getting started and Cole dropped his diss track and then took it back, a lot of people got mad at him for that. But after seeing how vicious this rap beef got, it was probably the right thing to do. He probably felt some insane spiritual pressure and just got out of there. But I could totally understand why he got out of the diss battle. He chose to respect his peace. He may be cringe, but he is free. And I think that mindset truly captures the best of J. Cole's music, where he stripped himself of ego and truly believes in what he's doing. You see that a lot on Forest Hills Drive and The Off Season, and those are two albums that I've been revisiting a lot, and I just love the overall chill vibe from so many of the songs on those albums. I love the use of his boom bap inspired drums and soulful instrumentation. Like overall, I think it just makes J. Cole's music very lively and nostalgic. And to help with that, I'm going to use a sample from Tracklib. Tracklib is the world's first and only online record store designed for sampling, giving you access to over 100,000 songs from all over the world. You can browse songs by genre, song key, and instrument type, or you can find amazing samples in the Collections tab that's been curated in different themes for whatever sound you're looking for. Lately, I've been really digging the Inspired collection for Metro Boomin and MF Doom, and I really love that they used all caps when they spelled the man's name. You can also loop and add beats to the samples in the Tracklib playlist. It's very helpful when you're trying to get some ideas going for how you can flip a sample. And let's say you find a cool sample, make a song with it, and want to put it on streaming. You can clear your sample through Tracklib's website. Clearing a sample is a very long and expensive process, costing thousands of dollars on average. But with a Tracklib subscription, you can clear as many samples as you want for no additional costs. And recently, Tracklib has implemented Sounds, a complete library of royalty-free samples made by industry producers. And just like the song side of Tracklib, you can browse sounds by the key, instrument, or BPM to find the exact sound you're looking for. The possibilities here are endless. And if you use my link in the description, you get a free trial of Tracklib and 100 download credits so you can get into crate digging and sound searching right away. Huge thanks to Tracklib for sponsoring this video. Let's flip this sample. I took the sample, pitched it down 200 cents, and found this little section to loop. I also used another section of the sample, and I chopped it up to make it a little bit more complex. I added a ton of effects to this, like Fruity Limiter for some peak reduction, Vinyl to force everything into mono, Origin for a lo-fi effect, and a high-pass EQ, stereo shaper, and reverb. I just love how the sample came out. I think it's pretty cool and emotional. Next, I worked on the drums. I made this nice little drum pattern that has some cool boom bap inspired drums with a bit of a modern twist. I also layered the drums with this hi-hat drum loop, but I put gross speed on it to give it a new rhythm. It sounds kinda goofy by itself, but with the rest of the drums, I think it sounds pretty nice. Now let's work on the 808 pattern. It's pretty simple, and it just complements the sample. Lastly, I added these transition cymbals and this bird loop from my Sounds of Japan drum kit. I recorded that sound myself in Japan. If you want to check it out, it'll be on the Patreon. And once we arrange, here's the beat. Finally, let's make a beat for the Compton cowboy, Kendrick Lamar.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
I'm still doing the big three comparisons, which means Kendrick is the most like One Piece. Both have had very long runs in the industry, proudly wearing their inspirations on their sleeve. And throughout the years, they've continued to make bangers on bangers on bangers. They're always experimenting, always trying something new, but they've always retained the same amount of heart. They continue to be unique and creative, doing things their own way, and even liberating some people along the way.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
And right now, Kendrick is on a generational run. winning the public opinion on the rap beef, dropping almost an album's worth of diss records, not to mention Not Like Us breaking the record for the most streams in a single day. And to throw a concert afterwards like a victory lap, all I can say is damn. Which is one of the albums I took inspiration for when I was making my beat. I loved the stripped back, simple vibes from that album, like on the songs Fear, Feel, and Duckworth. So for my song, I'm gonna start off with this soulful sample. I wanted to do a little bit more chopping for this one, kind of inspired by Ninth Wonder, so I found this cool 8-bar section of the sample and I started chopping it up. The only effects I'm using on this are a high-pass EQ, a sidechain for the drums with Fruity Limiter, and a reverb. Next, I'm gonna add some drums, nice crispy boom bap drums with a little bit of swing on the hi-hat. It's very simple and very repetitive. Next, I'm gonna play this bass line using a synth bass and flex. Here's how that sounds. And next I'm going to add this little hi-hat drum loop that's all the way in the background, just gives the song a little bit of texture. The last thing I did was arrange the beat, and I'm going to start it off with the sample unchopped. And with that being said, here's the final beat.